Hey you guys, Mark Daniels Jr. I'm out here on beautiful Lake Martin here in Alabama. I finally had a little bit of downtime to myself where I could get home, relax, and get out here and talk about these last three events. The season just kicked off for me, 2016. My last three tournaments in a row have been out in the state of Florida. I've been there 3 times, and I wanted to do a recap and give you guys some insight of how I caught them. First, I went down in mid-January and fished Lake Okeechobee. I had about a week off. I came home, got my boat and truck wrapped, went back down and fished the first Southern Open on the Kissimmee chain. Had just a couple days in between that event and had to head right back down to Lake Okeechobee and fish the first FLW Tour event on Okeechobee. And we're going to talk about all 3 of them and give you guys some insight, how I did it, where I caught them, how I caught them, and you know, just the whole gamut. So let's kick things off with Lake Okeechobee. Middle of January. Of course, as always, just about every time we get down there during the event, a cold front comes through. And I kind of get mixed emotions about cold fronts in Florida. Generally speaking, it sets things up to where the way I like to flip, or fish rather, which is flipping. You know, anytime you have a temperature change down there in Florida, those fish time in and day out utilize that hydrilla, and they push far back into those hydrilla mats. And that's generally how you're going to catch them for the most part, which fits right into my strengths, and that's what I love to do. So let's talk about how I caught them down there in the middle of January down at Okeechobee. Of course, the cold front came through as I previously stated, and so, you know, I did what I love to do. I picked up the flipping stick, and this is my signature series rod with Kistler. It's the MAD series. I absolutely love this rod, and I was flipping around my favorite bait, and that's a missile craw. And I alternated between this and the baby D-bomb. When the water was really clear and I felt like they didn't need to have a lot of motion and vibration to pick the bait up, of course I went with the missile craw, and I'm using a 2-ounce tungsten sinker on that. Got a 4-aught hook on there, and this right here is Seaguar 50-pound smackdown braid. And I also have this on the new flipping braid as well, which is all black in color. It's a great option as well. But in low light conditions, or when it's overcast, or I feel like I really need to see my line and I might pick up an extra strike or two by watching my line, I like to go with the smackdown. And so that's what we went with there. High speed gear ratio reel. This is a Shimano Chronarch 7:6 to 1 gear ratio. Again, getting them out of that heavy cover real quick is key. This was my mainstay down there. And like I said, I alternated between that, and here I have it here set up on 1.5 ounces, a little bit smaller. That was a 2-ounce I showed you just before. That's a little smaller, 1.5 ounces, and that's the baby D-bomb. And I would throw this when I felt like the water had a little bit of stain on it. I wanted to displace a little more water. You know, it has the ribs and it has the cool little flappers on it that move around. And I felt like that was a good idea when the water had a little more stain to it. But setup here is going to be the same. MAD series, 7'11" heavy action flipping stick. Absolutely love this rod. Caught giants on this thing. In my opinion, one of the best mat rods out there on the market. Again, same deal, 7:6 to 1 gear ratio reel, and caught a lot of fish on this down in Okeechobee the first go round. Another bait that I incorporated into the mix, of course, I was down in the Harney Pond area, Monkey Box area. That area of the lake tends to suit my strengths a lot, and so I've spent a lot of time down there. But there's a lot of deeper grass that people don't always key on. It's 4 to 6 foot out there in the middle of Harney Pond, and I found ripping a rattle trap through that could get some bites as well. And you can see this one's all chewed up. I'll get that closer to the camera so y'all can get a look at that. I mean, this thing is really beat up. And you know, I'm throwing this on Kistler's new Argon rod. If you guys have not checked this out, please do. The price point is amazing, 159 bucks. This thing is super lightweight. This one in particular is a 7-foot medium action graphite composite blend. You guys have heard me, you know, if you watch my videos, you hear me talk about this time in and time out. I like a graphite composite rod when I'm throwing treble style baits. I just feel like it doesn't pull hooks. You know, the rod loads up really nicely, and my catch ratio goes up, in my opinion. 17-pound Seaguar InvisX line, 7 to 1 gear ratio Shimano core reel. And the deal out there, of course, typical grass fishing, real long cast, let that bait get down into that grass, and deliberately get hung up and short hops, ripping it out of that grass. Those fish would see that. Of course, they're out there feeding on shiners, bluegills, and other small bait fish. And this particular color, which is called Tennessee Gold, was getting it done. Caught a few key fish throughout the week on that as well. Another bait I've caught a few fish down there on. You know, this is another Florida deal. You know, it catches them just about any time of year down in Florida. In my opinion, you got to have a big jig, whatever your favorite brand jig is. This one happens to be a Medlock jig. Very popular down in Florida. A lot of guys fish these, and it's one that I like as well. Double style weed guard on it, comes through the cover really good. And I put a D-bomb on the back of that. And I like to fish the D-bomb on this big jig as a chunk. A lot of guys will thread this up on this whole jig, but in my opinion, it's the size and the fall of the jig. The fast fall is what triggers the strike a lot of times. And so I'll trim a lot of that plastic off so I can maintain that rate of fall. And so I just keep about 1 inch of that D-bomb on there and use it as a chunk, and it works really good for me. Again, you know, I'm a happy man when I'm in Florida, and I got 4 of my rods on the deck. This is my rod again, 7'11" heavy action Kessler MAD series. I got the black new flipping braid on here, designed by Danny Brower. If you guys haven't checked this out, please do. This is an awesome line. 8-strand woven, so it's extremely round and it's really smooth. You're not going to get that grinding sound through your guides like some of the other brands. Definitely a hot line on the market right now. You guys need to check out. Same setup again, 7/6-1 Shimano Chronarch, high speed. Get in there, get out of there. You know, increase the number of flips throughout the day. I'm a fan of high speed reels. So that's another technique that got it done for me. So, you know, that was really the deal. You know, middle of January when I was down there, that's pretty much what I did. I also incorporated a fluke some. If you guys see my previous video that I posted, my co-angler was pretty much kicking my butt, man, and I wasn't gonna sit there and watch it. I took his advice and tied a fluke on and caught a couple keepers, and that helped me out as well in that event. But you know, these were my mainstays, and so you know, that's what I utilized down for the first Costa deal down in Okeechobee. Thank you guys for tuning in and subscribing to my channel and checking me out. I appreciate it. You guys be sure to follow me on all the social media. I'm out here on everything now. I'm doing Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. And if you can simply type my name in, Mark Daniels Jr., you'll find me. The only one that's different is Twitter, and I'm MDJ Fishing on Twitter. But you guys take it easy, stay tuned, and I will check you guys out on the water. We still got 2 more circuit breakers to air. They've been taking their time to get them out, but hey, they're coming. We got the Potomac River, which is the last regular season FLW Tour event for 2015, and then we got the Forest Wood Cup. That's going to be a good one. So you guys stay tuned. Thanks for following me. I'm Mark Daniels Jr. You guys take it easy. I'll see you out there on the water. Later.